Wins, losses, and lessons learned Q1 2025. And even if you're watching this in the future, I'd like for you to take something away from this. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Tyler Roicki. I help people personally develop and grow in real estate. And I run a real estate sales organization spanning almost 300 agents in over 30 states, selling $275 million worth of real estate a year, and growing relatively quickly, especially given circumstances in the market past couple of years. But that being said, let's talk wins. Q1 2025. I'm excited to say that I had the privilege of welcoming 30 new partners into the herd, which is my real estate sales organization within eXp Realty. And on my team, we produced our 5th Icon agent. So an Icon agent is top 3% of producers within eXp Realty. I have about 80 people on my team, so we're outperforming the expected percentage of Icon agents. And that's especially, I think, a good milestone because most of my team has been licensed 4 years or less in the business. I mean, I think a majority 3 years or less. So the fact that we've already produced our 5th Icon, it means we're doing something right. I mean, and it's been an especially challenged market to hit those high production milestones the last couple years. So we're on the right track. We're gonna produce more this year. I'm excited to see who claims that title next. But something for me personally, which it's kind of crazy to say, but I bumped up to number 5 in the whole company and agents personally attracted in the organization. And mind you, this is out of 85,000 agents globally. I'm number 5 in terms of agents I've personally brought into and sponsored in the organization who are active in the business. And I can't say I ever really thought I would hit that milestone. But that being said, I'm not slowing down. I mean, could I make a run for the top spot? We will see. I'll tell you though, even if I do, it's not my most important goal at this point. That kind of leads me to the next one is I'm helping more agents in my group successfully duplicate than ever before, because within the opportunity we all operate within, there's an opportunity for those who envision building a business beyond their own production to do so. And to me, my most important goal at this time is to help those that strive to do more of that and to see more of the success that I'm personally achieving, to go out and replicate and duplicate that in their own ways. And I'm happy to report back that there's more people in my organization duplicating than ever before, meaning that they're bringing agents into the fold and growing their own teams, groups, and organizations within the mix. And I'm helping to contribute to that in any which way I can. That's my area of expertise. So I'm excited to build upon that in the time ahead because it's going to have a ripple effect for those who are working to build that with me. A big personal win for me is I hired a professional video editing team. So if you're liking the content as of late, shout out to my team. If you're out there making content and wondering how you can have your videos looking more like mine, reach out, email me, ask me. There might be a way that I could get you the kind of help you're looking for with that. But for me, I feel like I'm a professional YouTuber. At least when I watch back my videos, it's the same quality, and it's because I'm working with the right team of people that's taking care of that part of it for me. And that's saving me time, but it's also, I think, going to allow me and help me to reach more people, just by having the right team of experts that are really dialed in with that aspect of it. That way I can focus more on actually creating the content, recording the videos, and then also not taking time away from my primary business, which is helping other people. So it's a big win for me. Just, I've always wanted to put that leverage into play, never really wanted to bite the bullet financially, and I finally just made the commitment to it. And it's my hope that in doing so, I'll reach a few more people this year than I otherwise would have. So maybe that's you watching. We'll see. Time will tell. Up until more recently, I wasn't quite expecting this one. But I added a new stream of cash flow to my business that's in alignment with my primary business. And more specifically, I crossed the $1,000 mark, $1,000 a month in new revenue to my business, new cash flow, just a completely new income stream, which is allowing me to, basically cover the cost of my ad spend. Because that's another thing that I've been doing is digital marketing, putting money into ads that's helping me grow my sales organization. And that was like literally the one way I never had grown it in the past, but I found a proven method that works, and it's a strategy I'm implementing. And I've very quickly gotten to the point where literally my ads are paying for themselves. So I'm super excited because that's going to allow me to keep growing and scaling that part of my business. To say it a different way, that basically means I can get 200 leads per month and it pays for itself. And I'm going to keep growing. My goal is to, by the end of the year, get to over 1,000 leads a month that's paying for itself, if not significantly more than that. So we're going to keep building. Now let's talk L's, because the W's don't come without L's and lessons learned. So I know for a fact that I lost 4 agents to competing brokerages so far in Q1. But the one that pains me the most, I lost the biggest prospect, one of the biggest prospects I've had so far in terms of someone who was willing to look at the opportunity and what it would be like to run with me in my organization. I lost them to a competitor, and I had the opportunity to get him in front of my leadership. I absolutely blew it. Just if I'm being real, it's completely on me. Looking back, I can think of 3 things I could have done better, been far more on the ball on, and I just wasn't. Through that, I lost the opportunity. So, that was really a painful one for me, because had it been in alignment, had it been the right thing for this person, which it very well might have been, if I was just more on the ball to get him in front of the right people sooner. But it could have been massive for the both of us. But, now he's out working with a competitor instead of me. So I did take some things away from all that, though. And I mean, you know what sucks? I don't know if you're like this if you watch this, but for me, like the L's, the joy of winning to me doesn't surpass the pain of losing. It's kind of, those L's really, really do sting. But, that being said, I am focused on growth. Now, lessons learned, urgency for one. And I think what I took away from that last one is bump the biggest opportunities to the top of the list. Jump on them when they're right in front of you. What happened for me is I had a week I was just so stacked and busy with calls, but if I looked at the value of each of those respective calls, at least to me and what I'm building in the bigger picture, I could easily say, even though my schedule was packed, not all those calls were of equal value and importance to my personal business. And if I handle it differently, when the big opportunity's in front of you, like, I think maybe it's worth disregarding what was already on the calendar, or scheduling with rescheduling with other people if needed to get the right person in front of the opportunity quicker. So that's my takeaway. I didn't handle things that way that week, and I paid the price for it in a really big way. Time waits for no one. And there was another way I realized this one as far as the urgency goes. My mom had been telling me almost for a year now, there's this company that is newer to the radar that she uses a lot, and I think a lot of other people like her do. And she was letting me know about almost a year ago that they were going to have a stock offering pre-IPO in the stock market. And it was one of those things where I was going to look into it. I never got around to it. And she reminded me a few times, and a couple of times I literally wrote it down, but I never got around with it. I think I just assumed, even if I do look into it, what are the chances that, my mom is, really keyed in on a big opportunity? Well, turns out they had the IPO. Pricing was at like $12 a share. It shot up to like, I kid you not, $240 or $250 a share, something in that range. So like literally 20 times the IPO price in the first like couple days of trading, which is just insane. But my mom was trying to get me in on it pre-IPO because they were offering something for people that were, really good customers of the company to really get involved with that early. So in hindsight, just, it's another lesson. It's like putting things off. Time waits for no one. Like, opportunities don't disappear. They just go to someone who was ready to seize them. And for me, that wasn't me. I didn't even look into it enough to know if it was a real opportunity or not. I just kind of procrastinated, and until obviously it finally happens. Again, like, time is going to pass regardless what you do with the opportunities in front of you. It's up to you, but those opportunities aren't going to always be there if you don't jump on them quickly. So, that's just another reminder. I've had too many reminders in different ways about that one, but like urgency, that's probably my number one takeaway from first quarter of this year. And then another thing, it's just kind of been a new paradigm, and an interesting one if you really think about it, or can even get close to wrapping your head around this. But a mentor taught me this quarter, you have an unlimited budget for things that work. Think in terms of marketing. You have an unlimited budget for things that work. And I say that because a lot of people I've come to realize in real estate, they have an issue with spending money like time and time again on something that's going to generate more business for them. And probably a lot more common is people just always switch it up. They'll do one thing at one point and then they'll change it, but they don't do anything really consistently for a long period of time. And it's like they're always looking for the thing that really works, and they're getting scattered results. If you really do focus and find that one thing that works well, you have an unlimited budget, because a budget is a constraint by definition. But if you had a marketing spend that it actually was returning a positive return for you, like, could you not keep spending the money on it if it's literally making money every single dollar you spend? With real estate, there's a cash conversion cycle, meaning it takes time for those dollars you put out to come back with a positive return. Even if it could happen right away, we're talking about a 30-day closing in most situations. We're not going to see that money at least 30 days, and that's if we get a now piece of business right in front of us right now. I think if you give it a longer time horizon and realize the positive return is there, doesn't it make sense to, up the budget, to grow the budget, to scale the budget? But anyway, to me, that's just a new, a new way I process that thought is like, hey, if something really works, you have an unlimited budget for it as long as it does, and as long as you can handle the cash conversion cycle of it. So I'm thinking more in terms of, just scalable ways to grow my business and literally put a nickel or dime in and get a dollar out, and how to do that predictably and repeatably. And I'm learning that the formula is actually really simple. The key is just to have the right system to minimize your cost per lead and to actually work and keep you in front of those leads and ultimately the database you're building over a longer period of time. So that brings me to the last point here, which is to me the biggest thing, which is what are my goals for the next quarter here? We're already at the time of this recording, almost 2 weeks into Q2, but I wanted to key you in on what I'm focused and working on now, because you're going to see me document it a lot more on this channel going forward. And I'm doing that just so that those of you who are really in the game can actually follow some of the things I'm doing and implement what's working for you in your business. And there might be a way I can help you implement some of it too. And we'll talk more on that in the future. For one, my goal this quarter is to double my ad spend. That's the first thing. It might sound like an unusual goal, but it's because I know that it's ultimately going to increase the flow of leads and opportunities and ultimately the results I'm getting for that. So that's why my double is the input. The input is the ad spend. The output is the deals that close. So it's easier to set a goal of, hey, I want this output, but I'm more focused on the input with this goal, because if I know I'm doubling the spend and it's performing well, that's where the goal is going to be there. So doubling my ad spend for me, that means I spent a little over $4,000, is like $4,200, I think, in Q1 in ad spend. My goal is to spend $8,000 in ad spend Q2. As long as my ads are performing in line with what I expect, I'm shooting for 1,200 leads, and that would be up from 500 in Q1. And then the next goal is to attract 14 new partners personally into my organization, the Herd at EXP, because as I mentioned, I have partners that are helping bring new people in the organization. That's how I got 32 in Q1. But of those 32, I personally brought in 7 of those. And so my goal is to double that in Q2, bring in 14 new partners personally, lead by example. And for context, 7 Q1, that ranked me number 52 in the company in Q1 out of, again, 85,000 agents. We're talking about numbers that, it might not sound big, but reality is if you're bringing 2 to 3 people a month into the organization, usually about top 30, if not 40 in the entire company at any given point. For me, the best way to lead is by example, and that's why that goal is even on there. Because if I want to have other people following in my footsteps, I've got to be the one leading the way with it. To me, that's what that goal is all about. My third goal is to take my new stream of cash flow I mentioned earlier up to $4,000 a month. And I'm actually ahead of schedule on this goal because I recently crossed $2,000 a month on it. So, as mentioned earlier, I created a new $1,000 stream of income a month. I'm already up to 2,000 plus on it. So my goal is to get that to 4,000 by the end of this quarter, which I'm very much on track if I keep putting my best foot forward with that. And then final couple goals here is one, launch a local real estate production YouTube channel. It's something I've done in the past. I've moved around the state of Texas a few times in the last few years, which you may or may not have known, but I'm in a completely new market area now. I live in Waco, Texas. It's a metro area of like 200,000 in Waco. I think there's a few more in the surrounding area that's pretty close by, but regardless, launch a local production channel focused around Waco, Texas, and to post my first 16 videos here this quarter to get things going. And then also, last but not least, launch my production marketing funnels and get my first 300 leads through the pipeline for Waco, Texas. And for me, you're gonna see kind of more of what I'm doing with that. It's more of a project than anything. And I'm looking forward to documenting what I'm doing to drive leads in production locally, literally starting from zero with no sphere in a new market area. And just full disclosure, I'm not planning on personally closing all these deals. I might take on some new construction buyers, but my goal is to really ramp up the lead pipeline and partner with agents locally to close the production. And, basically, when I say partner in the local sense, I'm saying I'm going to generate the business. I'm going to have someone else locally close the business. That's what I'm building. But I have a bigger goal with all that. I'll probably talk more in the future on it. But for now, that's my wins, my losses, and lessons learned in the first quarter of the year here. Now, I want to leave you with this. If you got value out of the video, drop me a comment. Let me know. I want to hear, what market area are you covering and how long have you been in the real estate business? I'll follow it up with another question in a future video, but for now, what market area do you serve and how long have you been in the business? And it would actually be good if I knew that, because you may or may not know this, but I send a ton of referrals out. I mean, I couldn't even tell you. It's been actually quite a few I've sent out this year. And one thing's for sure, you're certainly not getting a referral from me if I don't even know you exist. So if you're out there watching, I'd like to get to know more of who's in my audience, who's watching the videos. So drop me a comment. That's my biggest ask. And then check out the description. I might have something for you there. I've got some upcoming trainings where I'm teaching what's working for me and my team as far as generating leads. I've actually partnered with a few agents where that's the number one goal and reason we're working together is that I'm helping them get a plan into play to actually ramp up their production this year. If you'd like to know more about how we're doing that, reach out to me personally. I don't mind connecting, especially if you're a frequent viewer of the channel, or even if you're newer to the channel. If I can better understand where you're at in the business and what your goals are moving forward, I wouldn't mind seeing how I can actually help you with it, if anything. All that being said, thank you for watching the video, and make sure that you're subscribed, because I got a lot more stuff I'm excited about coming down the pipeline. But all that being said, again, thank you for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.